welcome to WarrenThornton.com, obviously alongside Unprecedented TV and also Paul Brooker from Brooker TV. Paul, my usual, shall we say, my usual confidant or partner in crime, I should say. Paul, you're looking very spotless tonight, I must say.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Warren. I am looking a little bit glorious in white. You're not looking too bad yourself, as we always know. And
Man.
I'm trying to catch up on Trump's visit, and it's been a busy one, Warren. I don't know if you've had much time to keep up on it.
Yes, yeah, we've had a good look, and of course, we've had all sorts of nonsense. We've had protests and all sorts coming out about Trump and everything. Shall we say the mainstream or the lamestream media have been out trying to cause all sorts of nonsense and everything else, and it's simply not true. It has gone down pretty well, and we all know why he's there. He's been invited across because Britain are trying to butter him up over the war that's going on in Ukraine, and that's not going to stop. There are, of course, lots and lots of people coming out with a load of nonsense, but the actual Trump protest didn't even fill Parliament Green, would you believe? Now, Parliament Green is the area in front of the Houses of Parliament, for those who are not British and don't know. And very, very simply, let's have a quick look here. This is the area in front of Parliament. Now, there were around 5,000 people because they stopped them after a while. Now, it has been literally, that's about 50 square metres by about 50 square metres. They're allowed anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000 people on there, should we say, to stop the what is going on, too many people getting on there and it being a crush. Now, you can fit 2,000 people on there quite easily. If you were doing it back to back, and they had to do this experiment, Paul and I know one of the guys who works in the Houses of Parliament, and he said that they actually had to do a health and safety thing, and you can get 4,000 people on that green back to back if you just squat them all up. If, for health and safety reasons, obviously there's cameras and everything moving about, 2,000, but police tend to go, let's go super safe and only call it 1,500. So there's only about 5,000 people have gone there at all, Paul Brooker. And when you think of the amount you could actually get in there, just goes to show how well attended the actual rally was on Saturday and how poorly attended this demonstration against Donald Trump was with people like Narendra Kaur there, who tried to make out that there were thousands and thousands of people there. Even the Met Police have got egg on their face a second time because they're saying it was a massive event. And it simply wasn't.
Well, if that was the picture of the event, and I'm sorry, but I was there on Saturday. That was a drop in the ocean, what you just showed on that picture just then, Warren.
Yes.
I'm sorry, that if that was all there was, they are, dare I say it, not very loud at all. Because I can tell you now, Saturday's march was beyond belief. Beyond belief. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people turned up. So, and most of them like Trump. Because obviously you get to talk to everybody. Everybody wants Trump to come to the UK and do exactly what he's done to the US here. Why can't we deploy our National Guard across towns to make them safer? Why can't we shut the border? We've got a navy. We are an island. Ours is easier than ever. We can just sink the boats. Or put them on some sort of island, and I always joke about the Orkney Islands, put them up there. Let them sweat it out in the cold for a while and see how long they want to stay. Because I can tell you now, when the grass is greener in UK, people are going to keep coming. So yes, I am all for Trump on his stance on immigration, 100%. And those people on the green, they're probably just woke lefties anyway, so I'm not really paying them too much attention.
Well, here's a short video snippet of the Great Unwashed.
We
I mean, just have a look at them. They've dragged their kids out to this protest. Look at them. They can't be any more than 12, 13 years of age, Paul Brooker. So this was, the people who were coming out to protest Trump, and they held them there before they marched them up there and everything else. What a damp squib, Paul. I mean, that's quite embarrassing.
Yeah, I think it is actually. And well, looking at the sample of people there, they don't fill my hearts with the backbone of a country that are going to work hard and make this country great. I dare I say, a lot of them look like they had nothing else to do with their lives but turn up there.
Yeah, very much along those lines when you sort of look at it and you go, this almost like a paid idiotic thing that is going on. And of course, the more that people are looking at this and calling it out, of course, the more of a meltdown they're having. The left sort of are, if we can call it the left, they're beginning to lose the plot, aren't they? Here.
Oh, I think they are losing the plot. And we are now seeing an unprecedented amount of violence now. Unprecedented amount of violence from the left. And
Yes.
it is very much concerning me, really concerning me, because they've attacked or attempted to assassinate Trump. They've attacked and assassinated Charlie Kirk. We've got to sit here and go, is it me or are the left the violent ones out of all of this?
Well, you
Because
have
it
to
seems
wonder.
like well,
Yeah, well, you have to wonder, don't you, buddy? Because I've got something to show you, which is quite staggering. Now, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same police officer or not, because I've seen a police officer that's looked very similar. But let's just have a little look at this, because this is quite remarkable. Let's have a look.
no sound, Warren, just to let
No
you know.
sound.
You'll need to start the share again, buddy.
Oh, sorry, we got a problem.
You didn't
No
check the
sound.
box to turn on sound.
Let's have a little look. Thank you very much. Let's put the sound on because it's 10 times better with the sound on always. Let's have a little look at this. This is a so-called female police officer protesting a flag being put up.
Clearly, you're not uniting by using it like this, are you?
Like what? How are we using it? How are we using it? Excuse me, how are we using it?
You would abuse it, little woman.
How are we abusing it? Explain, have a conversation.
Because you're using it to spread hate.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are.
No, we're not.
There we go. Jimmy Cranky there, who is a female police officer, apparently. What is wrong with these people?
They are mentally unhinged. And I'm worried now that I'm thinking, how many unhinged people are we putting into positions of power? Properly unhinged people. Are we creating masses of problems by doing this? Because I'm just going to share something with you, and this is a statistic that has just come out, and it is terrifying me in America. This is what violence rates look like depending on political party.
Wow.
That is Democrat violence
staggering.
versus Republican violence.
Dear God.
So just to read this out to everybody. So this is in 2023, combined violence rates by party. Democrats, 21,765 incidents of violence. Republicans, 858.
Dear God. That is staggering, isn't it? So you're 21 times more likely to suffer some sort of violent encounter with somebody who votes Democrat. Would that be right?
That's what it's looking like all over the place, Warren. All right, maybe you could argue that there might be slightly more Democrats, but the last election in America tells you there's more Republicans. So all I can say is I don't think you could use that argument to make it stand up. But yes, we are now seeing Democrats being far more likely to use violence. And what falls under all of that? The trans agenda, everything else. So basically,
Let's
Sorry,
have a
go on.
bang about that then, Paul, because we've got this here from J.K. Rowling, who is one of the people who could be in the firing line. Pardon the pun. I didn't mean it in the way that it sounds, but she could be in the firing line for the next lunatic because she's had a lot to say on the trans agenda. She says words are not violence. When you pretend that views that oppose your own are violence, you are justifying the use of actual violence towards the speaker. Gender ideology gender ideology's reliance on tropes and slogans like words of violence, its constant rationalisation and justification of using force against opponents, and its preference for enforcing compliance through fear rather than permitting debate are straight out of fascism's playbook. The function of propaganda is not to weigh and ponder the rights of different people, but exclusively to emphasise the one right which it has set out to argue for. Its task is not to make an objective study of the truth insofar as it favours the enemy, then set it before the masses with academic fairness. Its task is to serve our own right, always and unflinchingly. The words are Hitler's, and they're from Mein Kampf, by the way. But I must have seen trans activists say the same thing, barely rephrased 1,000 times. Your movement seeks to remove rights from others. It's anti-truth and critical thinking, pro-violence, pro-dehumanisation of those who disagree with you, and you are so lacking in self-awareness, you cannot see that you are precisely what you pretend to hate. Paul.
Wow. J.K. Rowling, for the majority of what she says, I am totally behind her. There are a few bits and pieces here that I disagree with, but on this, I think she's absolutely right. And it's terrifying how they can force their ideology on us, and we're not allowed to say no, I don't believe that, with respect to our own ideologies. Can you not see where this is going? They want to force their ideologies on us. It's not just existing; they want to force us to accept them. And I'm sorry, but no, you are not going to force me to accept something that is biologically wrong. I'm sorry,
Yes.
you just can't.
Uh, yeah, absolutely right. And while you're on it, Paul, let's have a little look at this. Okay. I've got another example here. This is Bristol City Council. Let's have a look at what they.
Just Bristol City Council's response to the Supreme Court judgment. Is Catherine here?
Consultation states it will need to review and update policies and procedures, but it's clear the response was made without consulting women other than those aligned with gender ideology. This lack of consultation is signalled by the Council's recommendation to use terms like people with ovaries or people who use paternity services when referring to pregnant women. The idea that paternity services is a gender-neutral term and the advocacy for phrases like people who chest feed raises huge concern.
So, chest feeders, Paul. And then we had, while she was speaking, this happened.
Guy, don't do it. Sit down. Very good. You're around the city. Listen what the concern is.
Yes, please.
These people shouldn't be serving on our council, should they, Paul?
Did they stage a walkout then, Boris?
Yes, they did. Yeah, while she was speaking.
I'm flabbergasted that they want to deem a pregnant woman who's proud to be pregnant, might you add, as paternal services or a chest feeder. What an insult to women. That is not gender neutral. That is insulting a woman who breastfeeds, a woman who carries a child lovingly. This is disgusting that they want to absolutely diminish the value, the honour, the right to be a woman carrying a child. That is truly disgusting. And their ideologies can do one as far as I'm concerned. No way am I accepting that. Full stop.
No, I'm not. I'm exactly with you as well. And of course, it's going to get worse and worse. And we've talked about this a lot. Part of the depopulation agenda and everything that they're pushing. But one of the, this thing that they're pushing is 10 times more savage and 10 times more awful than most things that they are pushing. Just for instance, I'll give you a for instance. We'll go through a couple of things here just while we're doing it, Paul. The amount of how can I put this? Stupidity that is out there. We've got this, for instance. This was a memorial.
He lives as he dies, promoting violence. Report all you want.
No, look at this shit. Check it out. Look at this shit.
She lost her job and her home because of that outburst. I don't see where these people come from, Paul.
Here's a question. She says he promoted violence. He didn't promote violence.
No.
He promoted conversation. She used violence just then to get her point across. So you tell me, who's the violent one out of them?
Yes, it's absolutely. When you're talking about the violence and everything else, we've got a couple of other things that are to do. Look, for instance, we had, you know, the poor, obviously, Charlie Kirk dying. Now, this is a little bit harrowing, but I think it's worth putting because this is a man who was actually in the car with Charlie Kirk at the time on the way to the hospital.
What'd you do? I got in the car because if there was any way I could save him, I had to do something. And I couldn't just, okay, just take him. You guys got it. So they got him into the side of the car. It was an SUV. It was the SUV we took over. And I'm on one side, and there's actually some video of this. Somebody's taking video of this. I'm on one side of the car, the right side, and they're getting Charlie in. So I run over to the other side, but the guy who was dragging him in is now blocking that entrance. So at that point, I run around to the back. I pop the back gate open, and I jump in the back. The car lurches forward. Apparently somebody jumped in the car. So the car lurches forward. So I almost fall out of the car, the SUV. Then I grab the thing and close it. And there's 5 of us in the car now. Justin's driving. Dan is up front with the GPS. Rick has got him. Rick's on my left, and Brian is there. And I'm coming over the back seat, and Charlie's laid out in front, just right in front of me. And Charlie's so tall, we can't close the door. We drove 4 miles, I don't know, it's 4 something miles, all the way to the hospital with the door open. To this day, I don't know how Brian stayed in the car because we're just go. We're trying to stop the bleeding. You saw it. And I'm yelling, come on, Charlie, come on. Meanwhile, my phone is still on. My son and daughter-in-law are hearing this whole thing. And his security team, again, Justin, Dan, Brian, and Rick, they love Charlie. But they were much cooler than I mean, they're just carrying out, they're calmly, but they're swiftly doing exactly what they were trained to do. Rick starts praying out loud. I'm praying out loud. We're yelling, come on, let's go. Charlie wasn't there. His eyes were fixed. He wasn't looking at me. He was looking past me right into eternity. He was with Jesus already. He was killed instantly and felt absolutely no pain. That's what I was told later. But of course, we had to try.
Clearly still traumatized from events, as anybody would be. Is anybody who's seen anybody shot and dead bodies like that? Your thoughts, Paul?
He was dead. He was dead instantly.
Yes.
If that video's anything to go by, that's exactly what happened.
Well,
the moment you saw him seize up, that was his nerves firing one last time. And unfortunately, that was it. I've got a couple more videos to talk about with regards to Charlie Kirk because I've got some questions and I am following Candice Owens quite closely about her journey on what's going on. And I'm going to play... I'm not sure I want to do this now, actually, after that, because that was quite a moment. So I'll probably save it to a little bit later on in the show, if that's okay.
Okay, not a problem. So let's get into some of the fallout from that then, because we've had Jimmy Kimmel now suspended. So Jimmy Kimmel obviously has been suspended from his show. There's been a major meltdown about this Jimmy Kimmel thing, and I'll just I'm just going to play this one video now to show you what exactly happened and why he was taken off the air.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction.
To be fair, I don't think Trump really heard it above the helicopter and was just giving a generic answer. But the fact that there are people cheering and applauding what was clearly quite a horrible incident, had this been somebody else, is it any wonder this guy's been cut loose?
Oh, I'll tell you what, the winds of policies and politics are changing, aren't they?
They are.
You know, you go back, he would have still been on the show, still doing his thing now if Biden and the Democrats were in charge. He got it wrong. Obviously, it's not a Republican. He's a Democrat as Democrat can get with his partner, shall we say. And it's strange that we're all still throwing around cancel culture. It is very strange. But at the end of the day, and I'll never forget this, I watched a comedian and he said, there is always something that will trigger somebody. He said, I would be surprised if you didn't watch me and find something that triggered you. And actually, I'm sitting here and I'm going, do you know what? There will always be something that will trigger somebody. And do we need to get away from cancel culture in general? I mean, the numbers and statistics would tell you whether he did good or not in that show. And yes. I don't know. I don't know where we're at. Yeah, social media has just created this monster now. That where do we go from this? Because this is the new norm.
Well, we're going to get worse, and there's things here. So we got Brian Krasenstein saying I am Antifa, like the absolute moron that he is. Yeah, it was quite staggering that he would say something like that after what has happened. We also had Donald Trump come out and say that he is about, I'm pleased to inform many USA patriots on designating Antifa a sick, dangerous, radical left disaster as a major terrorist organization. I'll be strongly recommending that those funding Antifa be thoroughly investigated in accordance with the highest legal standards and practices. The usual thank you for your attention on this matter. They're going to be calling these people in to a Senate subcommittee to discuss everything that's going on with that, platforms such as Reddit and everything else. And of course, the chief executive officers of Discord, Steam, Twitch and Reddit to testify in a full committee hearing on October the 8th, 2025. This is clearly going down, but are we missing a trick here? Because obviously this guy was into some fairly heavy crap, shall we say, to do with all sorts of disgusting things. I mean, the Mail carried a story about the suspect with his kinks, things to do with paedophilic friends, furry shades of gay games and everything that he would log into, and his sickening cache of porn searches. It took about 2 seasons or 2 semesters, as they would call it over there, for him to get radicalized into this sort of thing. And his father has come out and said, as a father, turning in my own son was the hardest thing I've ever done, but watching Cardi Kirk's family suffer is a pain no parent should endure. That's why every dollar, and they have got a GoFundMe for this guy, set up by the far left, will go to them, because justice means standing with the victims, not excusing the guilty. That's some father, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a man who's got principles. You can obviously see that. I bet he's kicking himself now that he didn't see the signs.
Yeah.
His son doesn't look terribly straight-laced to me in those photos.
Yeah.
And obviously, it turns out he's got a trans partner now, and you can just see all the boxes being ticked. But what does this say about our education system? What does it say? Because we all know most college, university campuses are now, dare I say it, infected with these liberal teachers who are putting God knows what into people's minds. Because let's be fair, as we saw from the statistics earlier, Democrats, the far left, whatever you want to call it, are more susceptible to violence. And this is a hard proven fact. Hard proven. So what does this tell us? That actually they've empowered, they've given the inmates the keys and allowed them to run free. And that's the problem we've got at the moment, because I can tell you now, Charlie Kirk would be alive today if the far left were not allowed to run free like they have been.
Yeah. Now we'll just get the views of other people first of all. You've got some more on this, obviously. Mark Breckle.
Well, again, that Reddit, I think that's on its last legs in Russia again, because I think it's on the list with the meter. But again, so it's only a matter of time. You can't keep having these platforms. But the thing is, though, you've got to hit these Antifa lot and just get rid of these, because it seems a shame if you ban these platforms that's causing this, when it's actually the Antifa lot that's pushing this agenda and this transgender. So something needs to, because it is a shame if you lose platforms just because of these radicals.
Yes. We've got loads of people want to talk on this. Robert and then Andy FX.
Antifa is too useful to Israel.
Okay.
They must, and they are a useful tool to they provide the street thugs for Soros's operations in non-government organizations.
Okay, that's a fair point.
And Trump knows about Soros, and he, being under the thumb of Israel, he's not going to act against Soros. And Soros, who controls Antifa.
Okay, there we are. So that's Robert's opinion there. Andy FX.
Yeah, just Interpol came out with a report there. I don't know whether you've seen it, where they're warning Europe about the far left, that the left is actually one of the most dangerous kind of like organizations at the moment, and most of the violence does come from the left. But just on the Antifa thing, you see, the likes of they're there. We all know why they're there. But the problem about banning them or getting rid of them is then they go underground and they do it even more cold. I'd be more inclined to keep them out in the open, go in, dilute down the lunatics and monitor them, and kind of water down their organization, rather than, because if they go underground, they're just going to get even more dangerous, in my opinion.
Okay. So, Paul, do they punish the ringleaders, or are they missing a trick because we've got a much deeper problem in our schools and universities?
I think we need to force a balanced dialogue in our schools and universities. We can't allow one thinking to reign supreme in there, because as we've seen, there's a lot of teachers that are quite hardlined. I've seen the speeches in these classrooms, and this is bad. And I'm sorry, children suffer enough growing up. They're experimenting. They're trying to understand who they are in the world and everything. And to have teachers lean on them going, you should be able to force your will, your views upon somebody else, is dangerous. It's dangerous. It's emboldening people who maybe should not be emboldened. That's a scary thing. And just to finish it off, I'm sitting here thinking, how many people could be alive right now because we did not allow these lefts to be dealt with early on.
Yeah. Now you've got some stuff because you've been following Candace Owens on this. I will just say this that Macron's come out with a bizarre thing. Very, 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 very weird. That Macron is now coming out and saying, "Oh, we're going to take Candace Owens to court. We're going to prove that my wife is not a man. We're going to have scientific and documented evidence." They could have produced this ages ago, couldn't they, Paul? Just gives them.
Oh, they could have. But Warren, wait for it. They're not saying blood test. They are saying, and this is the exact wording, photographic evidence and scientific evidence. Not once have they said a blood test or a DNA test.
What scientific evidence? Is it what, she going to drop her pants on live on stage? I mean,
well, don't forget as well, is once they've had it all chopped off and everything, they can be made to look like a woman.
Photos can be doctored, so I'm not having that. Why doesn't she just go and have a DNA test? Or I'll tell you what, here's the easiest way to do it. Go and have your pelvis x-rayed in front of Candace Owens and put it up on the internet. Because a woman's pelvis is completely different to a man's.
Yeah. Warren, there are too many easy tests that can be done to prove this.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, the fact that they're trying to get clever with the wording tells me a lot. It tells me we cannot trust them. And don't forget, this will blow the lid off, because if Brigitte Macron's proved to be a man, and at the moment this is all hearsay because nothing has been through the courts yet.
Absolutely.
Well, that's going to raise even bigger concerns now about Obama's wife.
There may be absolutely nothing wrong with Brian whatsoever, Paul.
Absolutely right. And then, does this then start giving rein to what we think we know about Keir Starmer? And I watched an interview the other day with a black cab who says there's rumours everywhere about Starmer and his antics.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's happening with the Macron then, Paul? What's happening with Candace Owens then, Paul?
I haven't actually got any videos on Candace Owens, I'm afraid. I've been watching them because I'm still trying to digest it all and just put it into context for the show. But it's interesting because she is doubling down on this big style, and she is doubling down on the Charlie Kirk stuff as well. And so much so that I've now done some digging into the Charlie Kirk stuff, and I'm going to bring these videos up now in the most utmost respect for the man himself.
Okay.
Episode of You Might Be a Dumb Motherfucker. This is my rifle. It takes two different tools to take it apart. It takes a Torx key and an Allen key. Now, if I take a shot and immediately disassemble this, I have to remove the bolt, remove the magazine, grab my Allen key, hit the two bolts on the bottom, put those away in the Allen key, grab my Torx key, remove the scope, put everything in the backpack, make sure I have everything, and make my way downtown. Okay, which is going to take a lot longer for him than it is for me, especially because his fine-tuned motor function, something as simple as grabbing an Allen key to a little bolt, is going to be extremely impaired due to a dump of adrenaline throughout his bloodstream. An extreme elevated heart rate is going to make these fine-tuned skills extremely difficult. I mean, just for him to think and analyze of what needs to be done to disassemble this rifle and get away would be difficult. And we're not even going to touch the topic of him assembling the rifle on top of the roof, which if you reassemble a rifle and you take a cold dead shot, it's not going to be 100% accurate. Okay, or the fact that he disassembled this after taking a shot, which the rifle's going to be hot and they found no gloves. There's just so many inconsistencies. It just makes zero sense. I mean, I'm still working on this, and I have taken this rifle apart 1,000 times. And now he has to put the pieces of the rifle into a backpack. And this is a gigantic backpack. Shout out Wolfpack, best backpacks on the fucking planet. Anyways, as you can see, this barrel, broken down, does not fit in this backpack. And this is a big boy, way bigger than the one that he was carrying. Okay, I put the rifle stock in here, and guess what? It doesn't fit. It sticks out. Now let's just say, for sake of argument, that he put these in his pant leg and he was walking. These are still so long broken down that he would not be able to walk straight. He wouldn't be able to bend his legs. Doesn't make fucking sense.
I would like everybody's thoughts on this because it's quite compelling what that gent's done there.
Okay, not for me, but let's hear from other people. Other people may have completely different ideas on this. Ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. We have, who's first? Who put their hand up and took it back down again? Lee Williams.
I was going to say that's a lovely bit of music. It's actually a sense of the people that's about. It's not right. It's not right. Everyone knows that.
Okay, Sean Murphy.
Well, they found the rifle. We saw a photograph of it. They found the rifle wrapped in a towel.
Yes.
So he didn't disassemble it.
Exactly.
He didn't put it in a backpack.
No.
He just wrapped it in a towel to disguise it, carried it off into the bushes and dumped it. That rifle doesn't look as though it's been disassembled in any way whatsoever.
No,
And
it doesn't.
doesn't look, to be honest, doesn't really look as though it could be disassembled without being disassembled by an armourer or somebody who is well practiced in it, especially if you want to make a quick getaway. So I can imagine that was the way the rifle was found, that was wrapped in the towel.
Yep. So very simply, let's get this, and I'll answer that for you in a second, Armitage. But I want to get everybody's thoughts. We had Eric Jones next, then Robert. Eric Jones.
Yeah. You telling me he got that close to this public event with a rifle wrapped in a towel?
Yeah.
I mean, this just smells just too badly, Warren. I don't buy it. I'm not buying it.
Fair enough. Robert's thoughts.
Let me see. He had help getting it there. My only experience of a rifle is the old 303. That's a pretty lumpy old piece of work, but it was a good rifle.
Yes.
He had to get that rifle to the show. He couldn't walk through the streets with it.
No.
He had help getting it there. It was delivered and given to him. And Israel have their fingers all over this.
Okay. Now, is that everybody? Is that everyone? Okay. Paul, you've got another video on this, have you? Or
I have, and I just want to join in on this because obviously the video quite clearly of him running across the roof doesn't show the gun sticking out the bag. Doesn't show him carrying the towel.
It does.
With the rifle in it.
Yeah, when you zoom in, it does.
Oh, it does it?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so he never took the rifle apart. That's what we're agreeing on.
Yep.
But then, so obviously he built it, but the videos of him walking up don't show it in the bag. I mean, obviously I don't know how big this bag is that he's got.
So we've got something in the chat here. From Armitage. So here's the thing: his mother worked at the college. He knows the place absolutely. He knows the layout of it. No problem whatsoever. It's very, very easy to find a hiding place to get your rifle, zero it in, get everything ready to take the shot, and leave it on the premises. Why would you carry it when you've got access to that college and all its areas and everything else? Very simply, you can just take the rifle there and hide it. Climb up on the roof, get up on the roof for a skylight or whatever, and then you can take your shot. And of course, we know that he didn't disassemble it because you can see him when you get close up. You can see that he gets down with a rifle wrapped in a towel. Okay, and it's not the biggest rifle you've ever come across. It's not like matey boys there with a proper sniper's rifle. You know, it's a huge bloody thing. I'll tell you what, get the same weapon and take it apart. But if you don't want to be seen walking through the streets, if you've got a brain, your rifle is already on the premises close to where you want to take the shot from. So you stick it there, I don't know, the night before, the day before, whatever you want to do. Remember, the event is held at a weekend. Who's to say you can't climb up there on a Friday night, place the rifle in a hiding place, and then you just pick it up? So very, very simply, he said he was planning it for about a week, or so he said. Now, there's going to be lots of people, but the simplest explanation is normally the easiest. Let's put it this way. If I'm going to carry it out, I don't want to be lumping a rifle round. I want under the cover of darkness, Paul, I want to put it somewhere where I can get easy access to it, take the shot, and then get away. But let's hear from Robert. Robert.
Let me see. Unless there's film of him actually firing the rifle, it's just, he's supposed to have done it. But what if he's really a patsy put up by Israel,
Okay.
the Israel lobby, and, one day we'll find out someone else did it.
Well, let's see, because for me, I'm sticking with what I have seen from what I've seen so far, and the fact that the grandfather and the father were contacting him in the messages to turn around and say, "Where's the rifle? What have you done with it? We need a photograph of it to make sure it's So they obviously had an inkling, Paul. And if the father and the grandfather are lying, if they're lying, and I'm not saying that they're telling, if the FBI are lying, and they might well be making up all sorts of nonsense because they don't know how he got the rifle there and all the other things. But if they are lying, Paul, if the FBI are lying, the father and the grandfather would be coming out and going, "That's not true. We never had that conversation with him."
Yeah, I like I say, I think we're starting to see more pieces drop into place now on this puzzle. I'm still not 100% sure he was on his own, because George Zinn, or whatever his name was,
Paul,
shouting out. Your first reaction is to shout out and say, "I shot him."
I think there's probably a group of them inside that Discord server, all the tranny lot or whatever, that have got, how can I put it, that probably had prior knowledge that somebody was going to do something or whatever, and they were all talking about it. I mean, they're obviously, every single one of them that were in that Discord server talking about this are completely off their heads. They're completely owned by this thing that they believe in. And of course, the fact that they're having these discussions is pretty awful. Now, you've got another one, haven't you? You've got another video you want to look at.
I did, but I've accidentally closed it now. And it was just on one of the gentlemen taking the camera down from behind the actual stage after the shooting, and he wasn't FBI. But
I mean, it was like the thing, Paul, where you get, where people were saying, "Oh, there was a guy signaling people in the crowd." And if you've ever worked close security with people like that, where people are making gestures like that because they're saying, "Pay attention to two people in the crowd. Pay attention to that guy, the guy with the hat, the guy with the earring, and everything else." But it's people who've never worked in that industry, or never fired a rifle, or never shot someone. And that's not saying that people can't be right. They can. But the most simple explanation for me, if I'm going to take that shot, the rifle's already there, because I'm not carrying it in the open in broad daylight, Paul. I'm just not.
In a towel.
Yeah. So, but when I finish, I mean, the guy's clearly panicked when he's finished. And he even says in his Discord messages that he left it there and he wanted to go back for it, but there were too many police there. But he's able to pick out the actual area that he left it, and the squad car that was there. So, but these what I'm saying is, my concern is the whole group of people and the whole movement that is behind this, killing a guy who actually had nothing against gay people at all. In fact, when other people said, "Oh, they're terrible, you're a Christian, you should be against gays," he turned around and he said, "I'm not." He said, "People want to live all their lives." He said, "I'm a Christian, so I'm tolerant." But there you go.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there, Warren. It's just one of them, isn't it? It's just, we've got to sit here and just go, do you know what? The logical and the most simplest answer is normally the right answer. And I just don't think the FBI are finished yet. I think they're looking for more people.
Do you know what I think as well? And I'm going to put this out there, and people are going to shout me down for this. This is, let's have to try and deflect everything from this, because then we don't talk about Butler, Pennsylvania. And if anybody thinks that guy on that roof that got shot took that shot at Donald Trump, I've bridge to sell you. Yeah. Because that is a conspiracy, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing as well is you think after last year with the guy who took the shot at Trump off the roof, nobody in Kirk's security team just put one person on a roof with a pair of binoculars. Not one person.
And they weren't on there, Paul, for health and safety reasons, right? Because of the slope of the roof and the angle of the roof. And yet the sniper teams that were in place were on a more sloping roof. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. This is the bit that, do you know what? His security team have failed him. They have failed him. There's no if, buts, or maybes in this.
Yeah.
And you just think, if they just had one more person on a roof, just one person on a roof, would he still be here now?
Here's the thing, though, Paul. At the end of the day, the old adage is nobody is ever safe from an assassin's bullet. The person who's willing to die in the attempt is always the most surefire way of killing someone. But you're never safe from an assassin's bullet. But a pro, he shoots from cover. He shoots from cover. That's why the guy who took the shot at Butler, Pennsylvania, was laying on a roof 150 yards away. If he's a pro, I'm a Dutchman's uncle. You know what I mean? He didn't even have the right rifle for the job.
Yeah, that's true. Right, and I'm just
Lee Williams.
Quick one. Did anybody see any of the sign language between the people that was around him? Just as a guess.
It's not for me. There's people like scratching their arms, and there's people going like this, and people talking all sorts of things and everything else. But show me why would anybody who is standing directly behind Charlie Kirk be involved in a conspiracy to kill him? You would be so easy to spot because you're doing this or you're doing that or whatever. What they're doing is signaling. Look, guy with a hat and the earring. See, we've done. Yeah, it's been done a million times. Paul Brooker,
you wouldn't be in front of all the main cameras, would you?
No, of course
you just wouldn't.
Of course you wouldn't. All you got to do is press a little key ring in your pocket, and it goes beep to where the assassin is, and he shoots. You wouldn't be doing all of this.
But I'm just going to end this on a bit of this little segment on a bit of good news, and the Turning Point USA board have unanimously elected Erica Kirk as the new CEO and chair of the board. In prior discussions, Charlie expressed to multiple executives that this is what he wanted in the event of his death. So his wife has taken over.
Fair enough.
That's lovely.
So he's got his things, and there is a little lighter note on this. The fallout from this, of course, has been absolutely horrific with lefties going mad left, right and centre. Now, there is a woman out there, Olivia Jubilani, who has told everybody, basically, Paul Brooker, that they should not eat lunch. They should all come out of their work canteens during the lunch break to protest this massive event. And this is Olivia Jubilani. I was just wondering if it's just because she's going to sneak into the lunchroom and nick it all.
Oh dear, Warren. Oh, dear. Right.
On you go, Bob.
Right, my next one, and I'm just going to change up the pace. I think the UK government's going bust.
So HMRC putting a kibosh on VAT repayments, yeah? We've got more clients at the minute with VAT repayments being withheld for like 300-400 grand, 10, 15 grand, you name it. Revenue are trying their level best not to pay money out to people. All kinds of daft reasons, no justification. So we've got people whose real life businesses are getting held up for some kind of policy that's going on at Revenue Towers that says don't pay out money. Our job here is to overcome those challenges for you and get that money in your bank account. Give us a shout at vatable.co.
Wow.
I think the government's a little more broke than we realise. Because if they're now not handing out VAT repayments and they're only clawing it in, that tells me they've got a far bigger hole in the bank account than they're letting us know.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right, mate. I think you're absolutely right. And of course, we know that Starmer. Here's the thing. I mean, Trump's called their bluff on this. He really has, because what he said with the sanctions is okay, you absolutely stop buying oil, all of it, and we'll sell you the oil that you need. Only problem is, of course, von der Leyen has killed herself, and she's killed the EU for ages to come, because she's agreed to a deal. And there are some people that are paying 2 times, 3 times, even 4 times as much for it. When they get the oil from America, they're buying it either anywhere between. It's now come out they're buying it anywhere between 60% and 90% more than they would have paid Russia for it. And they're also going to pay the transit cost, which is then going to be put on to the oil, to the companies obviously buying that. They're going to have to pay twice as much for it. They're also going to have to pay the transit cost, and they're going to want to make their profit. So they're going to want a lot more. They're going to be bumping that up to maybe 3, 4, maybe even 5 times as much as you would normally pay for it. Mark Breckle.
Again, America's ripping everyone else off because they want to sell weapons, and then they want to sell the gas dearer. But when Russia sell it lower, they don't like it. They're starting to have a go now with India.
India are not going to buckle one.
No, definitely not. But this is it. You can't trust it. Can't trust Trump at the moment when he says things like that.
Yes. Yeah. Paul.
It's also worth noting that Trump and Starmer have just signed a $250 billion deal.
Yes.
I don't know the details of that yet, but that happened today. And, you know, they're saying you need to get off the addiction to cheap Russian gas. So you actually want us to buy expensive American gas?
Yes.
I'm sorry, but you're probably getting that gas from Russia anyway, because Russia will sell it to some out there country who will then sell it to you, and then you just put your markup on it.
Yes.
No,
Absolutely.
we need to make peace with Russia so we can all get our heads above water, where we are drowning in the overpriced life that this war has created.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Good, great point. Well made. Somebody put their hand up, took it down again. Who was that? No one. Okay. Eric Jones. Eric?
Yeah, being ripped off. I resent that, guys. Come on. I mean, geez. I mean, you can't be ripped off when you realize that the guy's screwing you when he's doing it. I mean, it's not really getting ripped off, is it?
Warren, where's the ban button? We've talked about this before with Eric.
Mate, honestly, we've got, at least you've got half cute leader. I mean, we've got, our leader is dumb as a box of rocks. Unbelievable. No, we don't blame you, Eric, at all. We don't blame America at all. We blame Europe, von der Leyen, Starmer, Macron, Merz. I mean, I have never known, I don't know about you, Paul, I've never known a group of people so sick as to be, and so stupid, and with such a hatred of Russia, when you add in Baerbock and who's now at the UN, Baerbock, Callas, von der Leyen, and now, just to add on top of this, can I just make this point while we're at it? Krista Freeland is, that's the wrong picture. Krista Freeland, I'll get that picture up for you in a second, of Canada. She's now being moved into a position where she is going to be a principal in NATO to as an envoy to talk about the Russia situation. This is another woman who has got a Nazi, an absolute out-and-out Nazi grandfather, Paul Brooker.
Do you know what? And it scares me that someone told me once 12 families rule the world. And why is it we see the same families time and time again appear in positions of power throughout time? Is it me, or is this some sort of cabal that are running the world? Because that's what it sure as hell is looking like right now.
Yes. Mark Breckle, what's your family tree like?
Well, there's no Nazis in it, I'll just tell you that, though. But Stalin had the right idea. He said there were 55,000 high-ranking Nazis. Said, put them up against the wall and shoot the lot of them. And Churchill refused. And if you look, who sent a rocket? Who sent a rocket up to the moon? And originally was part of the rocket production that used slave labour in Slavs in 45. Look him up, because he was the main guy in the Nazis that the Americans had to use for rocket power.
Yeah, took him across with Operation Paperclip.
So it just tells you everything, doesn't it, Warren?
It does. It does. And of course, they made a bit of an enclave in Canada, and I got in a lot of trouble for exposing them. Paul Rooker.
Oh, don't mention the
that
Germans.
you did, Warren.
Sorry, Paul.
Also, staying on the subject of the UK, it started, Warren. The building companies are collapsing.
Uh-oh.
Giant's collapse leaves debts of over £60 million unpaid. So this is on the Devon Live website. Ex-employees and hundreds of creditors are set to receive nothing. The collapse of a building arm of Devon construction giant Midas will leave debts of more than £46 million unpaid, it can be revealed. A new report from administrators for Midas Construction confirmed that there is no cash to pay more than £45 million to hundreds of unsecured creditors, a £1.5 million tax bill, and almost £400,000 to ex-employees. The company is expected to be dissolved by February next year, a full 4 years after the entire Midas Group went bust. 2 other companies in the group have already been dissolved, meaning that overall Midas collapse has left more than £60 million unpaid. A newly published report on Companies House by the joint administrators revealed that the last hope of reclaiming up to £60 million from the disputed contracts has now gone, with only £259,000 recovered. And I can guarantee nearly all of that probably went into the administrators' pockets due to fees. It means there is not expected to be any money for people owed. That's a real shame. The administrators have been trying to claw back more than £28 million owed to Midas for contracts, but were hit by a significant number of termination notices and counterclaims in respect to unfinished contracts. There are also discussions over more than £32 million in disputed debts, and lawyers were brought in with the prospect of legal action. So really what's happened is the administrators have tried to pursue some of these debts, have realised that it's just not financially viable to do so, and have given up. Real shame. Lots of people have lost out.
Wow. That is quite staggering. Just goes to show the level of collapse that's about to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And my brother works in the construction industry. It's slowed right down. Do you know the only people that are buying houses at the moment? Social housing.
Yes,
social housing. And don't forget, the government is privatising council housing. That's what
Yes.
social housing is, privatisation.
It
And you've got to sit here and you've got to go. This is awful. The speed at which they're destroying the world's economy, because it's getting out of hand. All the money's going to be sitting in, I don't know, 10% of the population. All of the money. And when the money's not worth anything, that's when everything collapses. And I'm sitting here going, do you know what? I think it's going to happen in my lifetime, Warren. And dare I say, it'll definitely happen in yours, I think.
Yes. All of that, all of the above. Oh.
Yeah. Right. And my fun story. God, you know what? Baggage handlers are epic at how they move luggage.
A baggage handler was caught on camera hurling luggage like an Olympic athlete. The footage was filmed from a terminal window and shows the ground staff member outside the plane's rear door. He can be seen catching items tossed by a colleague and flinging them with Herculean force onto the tarmac.
Yeah. You would have thought, wouldn't you, that they would have a little mini escalator, a little mini conveyor belt, like they do when you're in there. And of course, they're flinging them off there. Why don't they have one of those things that they just put up? They turn it on, they put the baggage on there, and it just feeds it down into the trolley.
Yeah, most definitely. And from what I can tell, is it's like a cartel. The airports, everything costs money. Every piece of equipment costs money.
Yeah.
And by the looks of it, I think they just didn't want to pay.
Skint every penny. Sean Murphy, and then Lee Williams. Sean Murphy.
Well, the moral of the story is don't buy Murano glass when you're on holiday.
Yes. Yeah.
Waterford crystal, and put it in your suitcase.
Yeah, that's why my laptop, when I travelled, my laptop was wrapped up in every piece of clothing and towel that I had. Lee Williams.
A quick one. Is there any English people actually working there? Only as a guess. Wouldn't know.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. Certainly not those, not the money you get for airport baggage handlers. Paul Brooker.
Sorry, Warren. I've just had a notification. Two of my friends, Emma and Darren, have just welcomed their son, Liam Summers, born today at 8:20 p.m. So I'm giving them a little shout out. They don't watch the
Oh,
show, but do you know what? It's good to celebrate new life once in a
it
while.
is fantastic. And pass on from the show all the best, all the bit and the most, the heartiest congratulations and best wishes for their newborn, buddy.
Definitely. Right, my next one. There's something going on in the UK at the moment because an illegal migrant got caught yesterday in a school and he's just been caught again today going to a different school.
Oh my God.
Was he charged with anything today?
No, he was released on the bail warrant.
Okay.
A bail warrant means he
Just because he so he didn't get like no trespassing or anything like that.
Not as far as I know.
So okay, so basically he done nothing wrong today.
Like I said to your friends before, I was not there. I'm not the officers who dealt with it.
Is it deemed to be an offence though? Could you if you look at the bigger picture, there's two guys have entered to school grounds, whatever way, shape or form. Is that not a safeguarding issue? At the minimum.
It's a safeguarding issue. I actually agree with you there.
Is it a chargeable offence?
And it could also be civil trespass.
But what about aggravated trespass? Because if they've climbed over, say, a school fence or however,
Trespass is a bit more than just going into.
But we've got to look at if these are just random guys. They're not parents. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, but we also go look at the law as well.
Yeah, but
aggravated trespass is forcefully entering a private property. Is it or is it not? Without consent. Is it or is it not?
It's not quite that simple.
But it is.
No, it's
He's
not.
jumped straight over the fence.
It's not quite that simple.
That's aggravated trespass.
Okay, if you'd like to look it up,
He's used force to get over that fence and get in.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to have a debate about it. Okay?
Maybe if he was born and bred here, it would be.
I wasn't there at the time. The officers who dealt with him dealt with him.
So is it because the school are not pressing charges, so it would be down to them? Is that what that would fall under? No, I'm just asking. I know you wasn't there, so I'm not holding you personally responsible or anything like that.
Because I'm not there
no,
full of
but what I'm trying to get at is if he is, say, trespassing on school property, that is something for the school to then want to press charges against him.
Well, the school,
Is that right?
school should ask him to leave, and obviously the police were called.
Right.
And found out he's wanted on a warrant.
Yes, so that's why he was arrested and the other guy wasn't.
That's why he was.
Do you think then the law should change based on what we've just discussed for them types of situations?
My job is not to comment on whether the law should be changed or not. My job is to enforce the law as it stands, as passed by Parliament.
Did you say, I just want to clarify this, did you just say a minute ago that if you climbed over a fence into a private area, that's not deemed as aggravated trespassing?
No, I didn't say that.
No, you didn't say that, no?
Did he or did he not?
You said it wasn't aggravated.
It's trespass. It's not aggravated trespass.
So if somebody climbs over a fence into a private area, that is not deemed as aggravated trespass?
Someone claimed into my garden.
That's trespass. It's civil trespass.
So I've been at a migrant hotel, because I've been to quite a lot of these, and I'm quite reliably informed, that if I went over a fence, that's kind of not breaking entry, but you're not meant to go in there. So once you climb over that fence,
you are a trespasser.
You are aggravated because you've aggravated matters by climbing over.
No,
that's the way it's been explained to me.
Okay.
But if you're saying
I'm not going to debate it.
No, I'm just happy to have that.
You need to clear that up for your own.
Yeah. But is that different police forces see the law in a different way?
The law's the law, the law's the law.
Should like say, or you asked me, should the law be changed? I can't comment on that because that's not my job. I can only enforce the law as it stands at the moment.
Can I just ask one question in regards if he was released on bail, but apparently the guy's homeless? Does that not raise concerns that he's not going to return to?
We can only keep people in custody if we've got lawful power to do so. If we didn't have a lawful power to do so, we as well.
But if he was arrested on the initial for breaking them conditions in the first place, there's a chance he's going to probably do it again. If he was arrested today on the basis that he broke previous conditions. Right, and then he's been released on bail again. Surely there's a much higher chance that he's going to do it again.
But if the warrant says he's got to be released on bail, we've got to release him on bail, and that's what we did. That's the law.
So I recognise one of those voices of the people asking the questions. very, very simply here, I'm going to ask you a very straightforward question. Why was he allowed to do it a second time? If he'd already climbed over a school gate and done it once, in what way is that not trespassing? If the school is not open to you and you climb over, you're breaking and entering and trespassing.
Well, here's the terrifying thing, Warren. So him and another person climbed a fence or got into a school yesterday. He's now been spotted outside the school. Did he get in the school? I don't know. We've just spent an astronomical amount of money across the whole country turning schools into miniature fortresses. This has just showed us it is completely useless because they cannot be prosecuted once they're inside the grounds. So what was the point in putting all these gates up, all this fencing, when they can climb the fence, get in, and the police can just sort of go, yeah, he climbed over, it's only trespass, that's civil. Hang on a minute. Why fortify the schools in the first place then?
Yeah. I'm not being funny and taking matters into my own hands here. Sean Murphy.
Well, I noticed that was actually at Loughton, which is only just down the road from Epping. Same police force.
Not good. Not
Essex
good.
Police.
Yeah.
Same police force.
Mark Breckle.
So it says a lot about that police force.
It does. Mark Breckle and then Lee Williams.
Well, the thing with Epping is there's a lot of migrants been moved to an airbase there. But the other thing is, though, once you go to a migrant hotel and start wandering around, you get arrested. But if you go to a school, it doesn't matter, does it? Because there's no immigrants there. Again, I will presume it's two-tier policing, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Lee Williams.
I was going to say, apparently he wasn't local to the hotel that is in Epping, but then where did he actually come from and why does he do it 2 times? Is it going to be 3rd time lucky that it's a crime?
Yeah, good call. That is the end of the first hour. We'll get a little over the first hour. If you want to see more, come across and join us. WarrenThornton.com. Bye for now.